We do it
You wasn't that. I just feel it like this.
Oh.
I remember just like.
Yeah, I have
Can I resolve this?
Is right? I got.
All right.
Mary.
Can we do budget checks?
I don't think we did for us.
All right.
Don't we just do it for introduction?
Yeah.
Let's do introductions. Do you want to read? Do you want me to read?
If you would.
Sure. All right. Low point, let's hear your introductions, please.
Hi, my name is Sam. I'm the current captain of the Low Point Washburn Scholastic team. We are coached by the literal Miss LaFave, and I would like to wish the best of luck to the opponent. My people will introduce themselves fastest to slowest.
Hi, I'm Chloe.
Hi, I'm Kate.
Hey, I'm Brody.
Hi, I'm Thorne.
Well, thanks for hosting us today. Kane, are you close enough? Can you turn any more lights on for us? Or
Yes, it's right there by the door.
perfect.
Oh, it's actually right there. It's a different world.
And then, Roanoke, introduction, please.
I'm Jackson Beer. I'm the captain of the Roanoke Clemson Scholastic team. We wish the best of luck to our opponents. We are coached by the wonderful Mr. Whitman, and my teammates will introduce themselves from fastest to slowest.
Yeah.
I'm Jonah. Mary.
There you go.
Okay, you gotta call out.
Theo, will you turn your light towards me a little bit more? Sweet, if you can. If it allows.
Can you see mine?
Can you see mine?
Yeah. Sweet. So everybody have what they need, markers, board.
You can take this one back and throw it away, but it doesn't work.
That one doesn't work? Sweet. Can we just pop them out?
I got it.
You got that one? Here is toss-up number 1, social studies history. The U.S. patrol boat PT-109 was sunk by a Japanese destroyer in World War II while being driven by this future U.S. president.
Buzz.
Theo, I heard you first there.
JFK.
That is correct.
I thought of that.
John F. Kennedy.
I was like, Theo.
That gives RB bonus number 1, science, 4 parts in physical science. Answer these from physical science. Part 1, this explosive gas was used to lift large airships like the Hindenburg. Part 2, this defense system gathers information from reflected sound waves. Part 3, this color is between yellow and blue on the spectrum. Part 4, this element, when added to drinking water, is associated with declining tooth decay. Name the element, not the ion of that element. You may confirm.
It's that one. This one?
Jane, what you got?
You don't need to.
Stop sign.
Time to all pencils down, please stop conferring. And what I've been telling them is just to hold your boards so that the captain can see them all the way until they give their answers. So just like they have your papers usually in front of them to kind of choose from, make sure they can see your answers until they've given all their parts, okay? And then Jackson.
Part 1, hydrogen.
That is correct.
Part 2, immune.
Incorrect.
Part 3, green.
Correct.
Part 4, carbon.
Incorrect. 2 parts correct for 10 points for Roanoke. That leaves parts 2 and 4 available.
For part 2, sonar,
Sonar is correct.
and for part 4, fluoride.
Incorrect. Correct answer for part 4 is fluorine, not fluoride, not the ion of that element. So close, but no cigar. So 5 points then for low point, Washburn, and back to toss-ups number 2, mathematics. General mathematics, this is a 30-second question. Daniel needs boxes for his collection of 10,000 baseball cards. How many boxes will he need to purchase if each box holds 600 cards? Jackson?
17.
That is correct. That gives RB bonus number 2, miscellaneous, 4 parts in family consumer science. Identify these foods. Part 1, a spread made from mashed chickpeas. Part 2, the main ingredients in escargot. Part 3, topping for a lemon pie made from whipped egg whites and sugar. Part 4, generic term for noodles like spaghetti, macaroni, and linguine. You may confirm.
I appreciate
Stop.
Time has been called, pencils down, please stop conferring. And Jackson, your answers, please.
Part 1, hummus.
That is correct.
Part 2, caviar.
Incorrect.
Part 3, whipped cream.
Incorrect.
Part 4, pasta.
That is correct. 10 more points for RB. That leaves parts 2 and 3 available, Sam.
For both parts, meringue.
That is correct. Part 3, nice job. Part 2, the main ingredient escargot is snails.
Okay.
I knew I was there.
My marker's going out.
There you go. Okay. Let's go.
Thank you.
Back to toss-ups. Number 3, language arts literature. Born in Alabama, this friend of Truman Capote helped with research for Capote's book, In Cold Blood. Awarded the Presidential Medal of Freedom for her first book, what author's novel, Go Set a Watchman, was published 55 years after her classic, To Kill a Mockingbird? Sam, what do you think?
Claire.
Incorrect. Correct answer is Harper Lee. That seems to be one that comes up often, so memorize that name. Harper Lee. Here's toss number 4, science, life science. The kangaroo rat can survive in this biome because it can get moisture from the seeds it eats, and thus doesn't need water. Name this biome. Is that, Jonah?
Desert.
That is correct. Here's RB bonus number 3, social studies. 4 parts in geography. Identify these U.S. states. Part 1, a gold rush began in this state in 1848. Part 2, Interstate 70 through this state connects Utah with Kansas. Part 3, Georgia forms most of this state's eastern border. Part 4, it became the 48th state on Valentine's Day in 1912. You may confirm.
Can you repeat part 4?
Part 4, it became the 48th state on Valentine's Day in 1912.
Stop.
Time's been called, markers down, please stop conferring, and Jackson, your answers, please.
Part 1, California.
That is correct.
Part 2, Colorado.
That is correct.
Part 3, Alabama.
That is correct.
Part 4, Oklahoma.
That is incorrect. 3 parts correct for 15 more points for RB. Sam, part 4 is still available.
Washington State.
Incorrect. They're looking for Arizona for that one. Good guess though, East Coast or West Coast here. So that's back to toss-ups. Fine arts, number 5, fine arts and music. This instrument plays the famous glissando solo at the beginning of George Gershwin's Rhapsody in Blue. Name this common woodwind whose types include bass and alto. Sorry, I'm usually doing what I can't see. So, yes, sir.
Clarinet.
That is correct. Nice job. You guys do it? Start super low. Good piece. It's a real bob. All right, bonus number 4. Language arts, 4 parts in literature. Answer these about the novel Treasure Island. Part 1. The ship used to seek Captain Flint's treasure, or the real-life island containing Haiti and the Dominican Republic. Part 2. The establishment operated by Jim Hawkins' parents. Part 3. The one-legged seaman. Part 4. The sailor who first tells Jim Hawkins about the pirate treasure. You may confirm. Time has been called. Markers down. Please stop conferring. Jackson, what do you got?
For all parts, Jack.
Incorrect for all parts. Sorry. Sam, all parts are available.
Let's do some guesses here. For parts 1 and 2, Cuba.
Incorrect.
For parts 3 and 4, Long John Silver.
That is correct for part 3 for 5 points for a low point. And so, correct answer for part 1 was the island of Hispaniola. Part 2, Admiral Benbow Inn. Part 4 was Billy Bones. Back to toss-ups. Here's number 6, social studies, current events. In 2020, his kidney problems caused him to ask for early release from jail, even though his official sentence still has more than 100 years to run. Name this New York City swindler jailed for using Ponzi schemes to steal up to $50 billion from his clients. Theo?
Is it Pablo Escobar?
Incorrect. Is that you, Sam?
Yeah. Johnson.
Incorrect. We're looking for Bernard Madoff. Madoff.
Never.
Neither. 50 billion though. Pocket change for us teachers, am I right? Here's toss-up 7 mathematics, algebra. This is a 30-second question. Give the largest term that can be factored from the expression 4x cubed plus 6x squared plus 12x squared b.
Buzz,
Jackson,
2x squared.
that is correct. There you go. Hit that thing with some purpose.
Make sure they're all.
Oh, gotcha.
Audrey.
That gives RB bonus number 5, mathematics, 4 parts in general mathematics. Express these numbers as powers of 10. Part 1, a million. Part 2, 100th. Part 3, a trillion. Part 4, 1 billionth. With a TH at the end, 1 billionth. You may confirm. Same thing with part 2 is 100th with a TH at the end.
Alright, stop time.
Time has been called. Markers down. Please stop conferring. Jackson, your answers, please.
Part 1, 10 to the 6th power.
That is correct.
Part 2, 10 to the negative 2nd power.
That is correct.
Part 3, 10 to the 12th power.
That is correct.
Part 4, 10 to the -8.
That is incorrect. 15 points for RB. Part 4, Sam is still available.
10 to the -11.
Incorrect, they're looking for 10 to the -9. You got them both on either side of it there. Back to toss-ups. All clear there? One. Here's number 8, language arts, physical science. A Delacroix painting shows her in a cave with one of her children under each arm and a knife in one hand. A setting that occurred after she sent a poisoned robe to kill her husband's new wife. Name this scorned wife of the mythological Jason who killed her children with that knife. Oh my goodness. This is a dark question. Is that Jonah?
Media?
That's correct. I think Medea is like, more we're getting crossing hairs here. Yep. Gives RB bonus number 6, science, 4 parts in health. Give the scientific names for these human body parts. Part 1, kneecap. Part 2, hip bone. Part 3, collarbone. Part 4, ankle bones. You may confirm.
Stop time.
Time has been called. Markers down. Please stop conferring. Jackson, your answers, please.
For all parts, hip flexor.
Boo. Incorrect on all parts. Sam, 4 parts are available to you.
No parts.
Oh, bro.
For all parts of butt.
Well, they were asking for the muscle group for the gluteus maximus, and we had a team member that said, but super embarrassing. Kneecap is also known as the patella. Part 2, hip bone is the pelvis.
Oh, yeah.
Part 3, collarbone is clavicle. The one that I did not know was ankle bones is talus, T-A-L-U-S.
You sure?
Oh, I should have had that. I did it.
You had that one?
You got it.
That was the hardest one, too.
I know. I should have already made
Make sure Sam's ears are good. You got that.
Here's back to toss-ups. Number 9, science, physical science. Created in 1867 as a stronger explosive than black powder, what creation of Alfred Nobel that combines nitroglycerin with clay is seen in old cartoons? Mary.
Dynamite?
Dynamite is correct.
Dude, I was.
That takes us to bonus number 7. Fine arts, 4 parts in art. Name these dances from around the globe. Part 1, in this type of U.S. folk dance, 4 couples begin and end each dance in a 4-cornered formation. Part 2, this dance form is seen in Tchaikovsky's Swan Lake and Nutcracker. Part 3, the syncopated dance style is a part of Brazil's carnival celebrations. Part 4, this open dancing form evolved from the jitterbug style and is usually performed with jazz or big band music. You may confirm. Time has been called. Markers down. Please stop conferring. Jackson, what do you have?
Part 1, square dance.
That is correct.
Part 2, ballet.
That is correct.
Part 3, salsa.
That is incorrect.
Part 4, break.
Incorrect. 2 parts correct for 10 points for RB. Parts 3 and 4 are still available, Sam.
4, all parts swing.
That is correct for part 4, nice job. Is low point, 5 more points. The correct answer for part 3, the syncopated dance style from Brazil, samba.
Oh,
Who did?
Mr. Martin.
Did he really?
Or at least
He would.
He offered
I have
extra
a
credit.
question
Yeah,
on
he
the
gives extra
score, Mr. For on round 2, I have that you guys earned 20 points that round, and you guys only earned like 10. So I have like you guys should have 10 more points.
Did you miss 10 somewhere?
I probably could.
I might have.
Yeah,
I
Just take an official score back there, so let's go.
I think your captain might have.
Because on the end 30, I thought we were 40.
Okay.
Okay,
You guys should be up to 10
so.
more points.
The first
Yeah,
two
I have 30
questions-
then.
130.
The first 2 questions, you gotta toss up and then 2 bonuses on each.
Oopsie.
Thanks, Coach. Here is toss-up number 10, miscellaneous sports. He once averaged more than 50 points a game for an entire NBA season. Name this great center for Philadelphia and Los Angeles in the 1960s. Jackson?
Will Chamberlain.
That is correct. Gives you guys bonus number 8, social studies, 4 parts in history. Answer these about U.S. presidents. Part 1, he lost his bid for a full term, partly because of his pardoning Richard Nixon. Part 2, he was the first Republican president. Part 3, he received the same number of electoral votes in the 1800 election as Aaron Burr and was elected by the House of Representatives. Part 3, he served the shortest length of time as president, 31 days. You may confirm.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah,
I'm
we
just
know
gonna, Wait. Actually,
That's time. Pencils down. Please stop conferring. Jackson, what do you have?
Parts 1 and 2, Lincoln.
That is correct for part 2.
Part 3, Jefferson.
That is correct for part 3.
Part 4, Harrison.
That is correct for part 4. 3 parts correct for 15 points for RB. Part 1 is still available, Sam.
wait, what was part 1?
I'm not sure I can tell you.
Okay,
No.
Johnson.
Incorrect. They're looking for Gerald Ford.
I was hoping I would get it.
Gerald Ford is who pardoned Richard Nixon. Definitely not Abraham. Yeah, 100 years apart there.
So I just want
Back to toss-ups. Here is number 11, social studies, geography. This state flag that includes a small British flag in the upper left was designed at the request of King Kamakaya. With 8 stripes of white, red, and blue for its 8 main islands, what southernmost U.S. state? Is that you, Sam?
Yeah,
Oh, yep, I see it now. Sam, what do you got?
Hawaii.
That is correct. Nice job. 10 points for local point Washburn. Gives you guys bonus number 9, 4 parts in vocabulary language arts. These words all begin with the letters R-E-L. Here's part 1. To set free from prison. Part 2. What a Tylenol does to your headache. Part 3. What you want to do after a hard day at school. Part 4. To move a sports team into a lower division because of a bad record. You may confirm.
I'm just gonna help. Time.
Time to call markers down. Please stop conferring. Sam, what do you got?
For part 1, release.
That is correct.
For part 2, relieve.
That is correct.
For part 3, relax.
That is correct.
No, part 4.
Gotcha. 3 parts correct and 15 points for local. Nice job, guys. Jackson, part 4 is available.
Part 4, relocate.
Incorrect. Relegate is what they're looking for. RBLEGATE. Good guess though. Seems to be what happened, huh? Well, the city seems to be going through this. Here is toss number 12, the last one of the first half, mathematics, general mathematics, 30-second question. Bill needs to fence in a rectangular area 65 feet long and 50 feet wide. How many feet of fence will he need? Sam, what do you have?
230 feet.
That is correct. Nice job. Gives you guys bonus number 10. 4 parts in geometry. Give these numbers related to a triangular prism. Part 1, the number of triangular faces. Part 2, number of lateral faces. Part 3, number of edges. Part 4, number of vertices. You may confirm.
Time.
Time's been called, markers down, please stop conferring. Sam, what do you have?
For part 1, 2.
That is correct.
For part 2, 5.
That is incorrect.
For part 3, 7.
Is incorrect.
For part 4, 6.
That is correct. 10 points for Low Point Washburn. Parts 2 and 3 are still available, Jackson.
Part 2, 3.
That is correct.
Part 3, 9.
That is correct. 10 points for RB. And that's halftime.
Not bad.
I got at least 60.
We're over 100 times. Already.
I knew the desert one. I never liked our academic
No.
I'm not sure.
I was thinking LBJ.
Randomness that I cannot know.
No, I was.
What do you say to like
We will definitely do that on the last
I knew we gotta ask what every meeting is our last.
Whatever I'm not in.
I know.
So do we have to install the again?
I don't know. I think there's a technical entry.
Well, it's pretty easy.
It is, it's
That would be
good.
You're gonna say, I am.
You can do that.
You say that, or what I would, you say, I'm.
We are all-
Some people do it differently, so like they'll re-interview it because they have some nice soccer players. Sometimes like if you just even switch positions, sometimes you could just like, it just depends on who's playing and how they're.
I thought something could touch off. I do.
Family candy.
I just wrote about it. All the history in general.
I changed
Oh, God, I know all of
my.
that. And I don't think I must do it. I know, I read about it, but no one else.
I'm regular school. Everybody gets up there. So take three more.
Leo, don't forget to do the other one.
Yeah.
You guys got everything you
Perfect.
I'm sorry.
All
Good
set?
traditions.
All right.
Oh, you're all set? Yeah.
Yes.
Should we?
Not really.
We are ready. Here is toss up 13, language arts and literature.
Wait, should we introduce them?
Oh, yeah. Thank you. Sorry. Introductions for new players coming in. And a captain swap over there. Audrey, welcome.
My name's Audrey.
Anna, welcome.
My name is Anna.
Excellent. And
You don't have to do that.
I'm King. There.
new captain, yeah?
Yeah, you can.
Excellent. Welcome, King.
Do I?
No,
we
don't hear us count.
Here we go. Here's 13 language arts and literature. One of his poems says, quote, "He thought he saw a buffalo. Upon the chimney piece, he looked again and found it was his sister's husband's niece. Unless you leave this house," he said, "I'll send for the police." Name this 19th century English author, a math instructor and puzzle enthusiast who wrote Through the Looking Glass and Audrey.
Frost.
Incorrect. And Alice's Adventures in Wonderland. That's time. Correct answer is Lewis Carroll, or maybe a pen name, Charles Dodgson. Dodgson was also an acceptable answer. Here is toss up 14 in science, general science. First and last name needed. Even though she became an actively loyal French citizen, what scientist and winner of 2 Nobel Prizes named the first chemical element?
Guys.
Anna.
Right, Sherry?
That is correct. Will you try your buzzer again for me, Anna?
If you wanted to buzz, then you did it.
That gives RB bonus number 11, science, 4 parts in general science. Give these unrelated answers. Part 1, the 2-word scientific name for rust. Part 2, put a strip of pH paper in pure water and the paper will turn this color. Part 3, the only part of an animal cell whose name begins with the letter M. Part 4, he proposed his theory of continental drift in his 1915 book, The Origin of Continents and Oceans. You may confirm.
No.
Stop time.
Time has been called. Down. Stop confirming. Jackson, your answers, please.
Part 1, iron oxide.
That is correct.
Part 2, blue.
That is incorrect.
Part 3, mitochondria.
That is correct.
Part 4, Darwin.
Good guess, incorrect. 2 parts correct for 10 points for RB, and then Kane, parts 2 and 4 are still available.
Part 2, gray.
Which one?
Part 2, gray.
Incorrect.
No, part 4.
Part 2 is green, that's what I just want to make sure.
Oh, I thought it was blue or red, so I just.
Yeah.
I thought it was blue.
Because that's your also in science last
Green.
year.
And then Continental Drift was Alfred Wegener. 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 Here's part, toss-up 15, fine arts, art. Skilled artists use this machine to give shape to ceramic ware by shaping the clay. Audrey,
Kiln.
incorrect. By shaping the clay thrown onto it. And then, let's see, Chloe, is that you back there?
Pottery wheel.
That is correct. Nice job. 10 points for local Washburn. Gives you guys bonus number 12. Language arts, 4 parts in spelling. Spell these military words. Part 1, guerrilla. Part 2, colonel. Part 3, sergeant. Part 4, lieutenant. You may confirm.
Could you repeat part 2?
Part 2, colonel.
And I have 1, 2, and 3 here for you.
That's time. Markers down. Please stop confirming. Kane, what do you have?
I defer to Sam.
Sam, let's hear it.
Gorilla, Guerrilla.
That is incorrect.
Part 2, Colonel, Collonel.
That is correct.
Part 3, Sergeant, sorry, Sergant.
That is incorrect.
Part 4, Lieutenant, Luitenant.
That is incorrect. 1 part correct for 5 points for low point. Parts 1, 3, and 4 are available, Jackson.
Part 1, Guerilla.
That is incorrect.
Part 3, Sergant.
That is correct.
Part 4, Lieutenant.
That is correct. 2 parts correct for 3 parts correct. No, 2 parts correct.
What was part 1?
Guerrilla is Guerrr, which you had 2 R's. ILLA. You only had 1 L. So 2 R's, 2 L's, and you each had. Yeah. So close, so close.
I was thinking of the. Yeah, that's what
I thought that I had all of them. I forgot to write
You're
down.
close. Those are tricky ones too, like colonel sounds like R.
I forgot to write down.
I thought you were saying colonel. I couldn't.
Colonel, sorry, I'll try
Yeah,
to
I
notes.
couldn't correctly hear colonel.
Here is number 16, social studies history. The National Park Service website for this Civil War battlefield says that 6 brigadier and major generals were killed or mortally wounded during this battle. Wyatt?
Gettysburg?
Incorrect. That saw more than 23,000 other soldiers killed, wounded, or declared missing. Name, Sam.
The Battle of Yorkshire?
Incorrect. Name this Maryland battlefield, the site of what the South calls the Battle of Sharpsburg, that saw what is still the bloodiest one-day battle in American history, Antietam.
Georgetown is.
Oh, it is? Oh.
Here is toss-up 17, mathematics, geometry. This is a 30-second question. Find the slope of the line segment between the points 0, 12 and 2, -6. Jackson,
-9.
that is correct. That gives RB bonus number 13. Social studies, 4 parts in civics. Answer these about the U.S. government. Is it broken? Answer, yes. Part 1 of the 3 branches of government. This one is not chosen directly by the people. Part 2. Presidents are inaugurated on this date. Part 3. This branch of the government creates new law. Part 4. Give the Washington, D.C. street address of the White House. You may confirm.
Stop time.
As we call it numbers down, please stop conferring. And your answers, please, Jackson.
Part 1, judicial.
That is correct.
Part 2, January 20th.
That is correct.
Part 3, legislative.
That is correct.
Part 4, Pennsylvania Avenue.
Can you be more specific?
No.
That is incorrect. 3 parts correct for 15 points for RB. K, part 4 is still available. All right. Correct answer is 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue.
I just had Pennsylvania Avenue.
I want to say 1300.
Yeah, that's not work.
Here's toss up 18, language arts spelling. Spell the second word beginning with M in the next sentence. Quote, our owner's manual states that the refrigerator will last for decades with proper maintenance. Jackson.
MAINTENANCE.
That is correct. Gives RB bonus number 14, miscellaneous, 4 parts in industrial arts. Identify these things having to do with plumbing. Part 1. This adjustable hand tool is used for turning fittings with a rounded surface. Part 2. This in-ground container is used to treat sewage in areas with no connections to a sewer system. Part 3. This device increases the temperature of water for taking a shower or bath. Part 4. Usually the lowest point in a basement, this is the area where excess water collects and can be pumped out. You may confirm.
Number 4.
Stop time.
As we call markers down, please stop conferring. Jackson, your answers, please.
Part 1, ratchet.
Incorrect.
Part 2, septic tank.
Say it again.
Septic tank.
Incorrect.
Part 3, water heater.
That is correct.
Part 4, sump pump.
That is correct. 2 parts correct for 10 points for RB. Parts 1 and 2 are still available. Kane.
Part 1, socket wrench.
Incorrect.
No, part 2.
Part 1 is pipe wrench. Part 2 is septic tank.
I'm sorry about my spelling.
You live in town, why are you looking over? You got some country folk around.
I was the
Some
only
country
one
folk
who had
around
it
should
written
have
down.
one.
I didn't know the first one.
Yeah, I know.
I was the only one who had it written down and I didn't know how to spell
That
it.
backs up in your yard or stuff.
Water heater actually.
It's in
I have no idea.
Here's toss up 19, science, health. Disorders on this spectrum may include Tourette's syndrome, obsessive compulsive disorder, and Asperger's syndrome. Name this hereditary condition that makes it difficult for a person to interact with others and may cause deep loneliness. Is that Chloe?
No, Sam.
Oh, Sam, thank you.
Social anxiety.
Incorrect. Sorry. And then Jonah,
Autism?
autism spectrum is correct.
Jack.
Autism, I need.
Izzy has it.
That gives RB bonus number 15, mathematics, 4 parts in algebra. Give these terms. Part 1, a transformation that creates a mirror image of a figure on an XY axis. Part 2, a line segment between 2 points on a circle. Part 3, in a right triangle, the side opposite the right angle. Part 4, the space inside a rectangle or trapezoid. You may confirm.
Stop.
Guys, I call markers down to stop conferring. Coach, is what he has on the board correct?
That is what I have. Yes.
Excellent. Jackson, your answers, please.
Part 1, reflection.
That is correct.
Part 2, chord.
That is correct.
Part 3, hypotenuse.
That is correct.
Part 4, area.
That is correct. All 4 parts. Correct. Nice job. 20 points for RB. Back to toss-ups. Here's number 20, miscellaneous pop culture. Begun as a spin-off of the series JAG, its main characters are special agents who work for a branch of the U.S. military. Name this TV series that features actors Sean Murray, David McCallum, and Mark Harmon. Coach it back. Audrey.
NCIS Los Angeles?
Sure. Just NCIS.
Oh,
We'll get
that was
what
actually
Coach agrees.
correct.
We'll get, yes.
Yes.
NCIS.
I have never.
NCIS.
I was gonna say.
Yeah, then they have several different, you know,
I was super.
I know.
just a hair.
Okay.
Coach is being nice and said we can give it to him.
Oh.
There you go. Bonus number 16, science, 4 parts in life science. Answer these about Charles Darwin. Wreck-It Ralph review. Answer these about Charles Darwin's voyage on the ship Beagle. Part 1. He saw a lot of these flying insects of the class Lepidoptera. Part 2, he spent several days observing the Fuegians, or people who live in this remote area of South America. Part 3, while in northern Chile, he saw stray dogs that died of hydrophobia, a symptom of this deadly disease carried by some dogs. Part 4, in Tahiti, the natives referred to this common 4-legged animal as a man-carrying pig. You may confirm.
I'm pretty okay, then don't do that one. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that one.
No, it's our turn. Let's go.
Maybe it's just guessing.
No, maybe not. I don't know, but it's, I don't know. And it's a type, I think.
Time has been called. Markers down. Please stop conferring. Jackson. What do you have over there?
Part 1, butterfly.
That is correct.
Part 2, Galapagos.
Incorrect.
Part 3, rabies.
That is correct.
Part 4, boars.
Incorrect. 2 parts correct for 10 points for RB. Kane, parts 2 and 4 are still available.
Part 4, horse.
That is correct.
No, part 2.
All right. Nice job. And horse is apparently a man-carrying pig. Part 2 was Tierra del Fuego.
Yeah. That was my second guess.
There you go. Back to toss-ups. Here's number 21, Social Studies Government. Composed by a group of 3 anonymous authors, these documents tried to persuade Anna.
Reynolds pamphlet,
Or what?
the Reynolds papers.
Incorrect. Tried to persuade colonial America to accept a new form of government with more central power. What set of essays supporting the U.S. Constitution was written by the team of John Jay, Alexander Hamilton, and James Madison.
Sorry.
Sam?
The Papers of Liberty.
Good guess. Incorrect. The Federalist Papers is what they're looking for. That's all right.
Papers.
Here's toss of 22, mathematics, general mathematics, 30-second question. Give the number of liquid cups in 3 gallons. 30-second question, 3 gallons. And Sam,
48.
that is correct. Nice job. That is local Washburn bonus number 17. Social studies, 4 parts in history. Identify these historical ships. Folks. Part 1, the ship responsible for the Alaskan oil spill in 1989. Part 2, the British passenger ship that sank on May 7th, 1915. Part 3, this U.S. ship from the War of 1812 was nicknamed Old Ironsides. Part 4, Sir Francis Drake's ship during his voyage around the world. You may confer. That's time. Markers down. Kane, your answers, please.
No, I got it.
No part 1, part 2, Titanic.
Incorrect.
Otherwise, no parts.
All right. That leaves all 4 parts available. Jackson.
Part 1, USS Alaska.
Incorrect.
Part 2, Lusitania.
That is correct.
No, part 3. Part 4, Silver Hand.
Incorrect. 1 part correct for 5 points for RB. Part 1, the ship responsible for the Alaskan oil spill, Exxon Valdez.
I was gonna write down this.
Part 3, U.S. ship from War 1812, nicknamed Old Ironsides, was the USS Constitution. And part 4, Sir Francis Drake's ship around the world, Golden Hind. Golden Hind. Here's toss of 23, language arts grammar. Identify the appositive in the following sentence. Quote, the famed architect Frank Lloyd Wright. Is that Jonah? Yes, sir?
Frank Lloyd Wright.
Incorrect. Who once lived in Oak Park, designed the Pennsylvania house called Falling Water. Sam.
Oak Park.
Incorrect. Oh. Positive is the phrase, who once lived in Oak Park. Sorry, you were close enough. Last, toss of number 24, science, earth, science. This metal is a main component of pyrite, or fool's gold. What metal combines with sulfur to form pyrite, is modified to create stainless steel, and is the main component in many magnets?
Buzz. Hey, I'm already here.
You are. Sam.
Iron.
That is correct. That gives low point Washburn. Bonus number 18, fine arts, 4 parts in music. Name these symbols used in music. Part 1, the symbol at the beginning of a staff to indicate the pitch of the notes on the lines. Part 2, a series of sharps or flats on the staff designating notes that are to be sharp or flat throughout the whole piece. Part 3, the top numeral in this pair signifies the number of beats per measure. The bottom number says which note equals 1 beat. Part 4, an area between 2 lines on a staff that represents a note between the lines. You may concur.
I know all of them. Call time first. Call time. Call time now.
Time.
Time has been called. Markers down. Please stop conferring. Kane, your answers, please.
I'd like to defer to Sam.
Part
Say it.
1, clef.
That is correct.
For part 2, accent.
Incorrect.
For part 3, time signature.
That is correct.
For part 4, legend line.
Incorrect. 2 parts correct for 10 points. Parts 2 and 4 are still available. Jackson, your answers.
Part 2, key signature.
That is correct.
Part 4, measure.
Incorrect.
And part
I don't like part 4. They're looking for space.
You can
The
say.
area between the 2 lines.
Nice.
I don't like that.
Nice.
And that is our match with a final score of,
Oh my gosh.
there we go, 302.
We did it.
Nice shot, guys.
You can sticky note. I'm gonna update the score for this year.
We made it through the three.
We did so good.
You did, you
Just get it down.
You
So
can Well, space is
Final score.
And you're doing it.
Yes.
I'm gonna help you.
Whatever, it doesn't matter anymore. Oh, we are. Okay, sorry. I have never seen so much life. Okay, this is our final score. I like it. I like it too. I like the straight one. Big nose. Nice even number. 360.
Free food.
Alright, guys, got markers from over there.
I'll get the boards, you guys want markers. You guys get the markers, I got the boards, I'm gonna carry more, so I can